Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's have something to eat. For you who are doing the raw food challenge, we only have 4 more days. We're going until Friday, Saturday. I don't want you to go buck wild. Don't go out and get a steak. Don't get a hamburger. A friend of mine went to Five Guys hamburger after it was over last time, and he got a little sick. So don't go to Five Guys. Don't go to McDonald's. Don't go to Burger. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. We're going to talk about how to transition out of this raw food diet or raw food challenge after I finish making this little delicacy for you. So those of you who have been in my class for a while, you know this is something similar to what we've done before, but it's just a little different, something I experimented with maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. I want to share it with you now. So what we're going to make is a cashew Brussels sprout mix. Some a cheesy cashew Brussels sprout mix. You will love this. And what do we have? Well, we have some Brussels sprouts. I already used some of these. And we have some lemons or lime. You can use either one. Maybe I'll try lime this time. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We need garlic. I can't live without garlic. As you already know that most of little onion. Can't live without onion either. Onion and garlic make the world go round. We have some jalapeno. I used the end of it. You see I chopped it off. This is an old jalapeno. It's getting a little weird looking, but it still works. All right. And some sun-dried tomatoes. Can't live without sun-dried tomatoes. You should always have some of these items in your home, like the sun-dried tomatoes, the lemons, the limes, cashews, onions. And I have a little smoked paprika. I may put just a sprinkle of this on, just to see what happens, to experiment. And lastly, we have some nutritional yeast powder. I only have a little bit left, so I may have to dig in the fridge and pull some more out. But anyway, those are our ingredients and my food processor. I've had this food processor for a couple of years now. This is an 8-cup. I think it's 8 cups. I forget what it is. But anyway, I have a big, huge one that I bought, and I haven't even opened it up yet. So I'm just going to use this one for tonight because you can get this for about $50 or $60. You have to have a food processor in your home. You got to have it. All right, here we go. So first, First, we have to have a measure, and let me get another container. This holds about the same amount as this, pretty close. You can measure out how much, these are raw cashews, by the way, okay? Organic raw cashews. I use this for another dish, so I don't have all of it left. Okay, we're doing pretty good here. Got a fair amount. I don't have to do anything with those. I just want to set them aside for a minute because now that will determine how much of the Brussels sprouts I use. Normally, this dish I would make with broccoli. I just had some extra broccoli here that I might put in it, but right now we're just going to do Brussels sprouts. And the time is now 7:40. So I always like to time how long it takes me to make this stuff because I want it to be quick and easy. So it's 7:40, boom, clock starts. So I'm just going to chop off the end of these Brussels sprouts. I never like the end on it. For some reason, it just doesn't do anything for me. We'll chop these up. Put them in the measuring cup. So I'm just chopping them, and I'm just chopping them a little bit to just slice it in half also, as you can see. And I like to do that because sometimes the food processor can get a little bogged down. So I give it a little help before I put anything in there. Any old leaves, I like to shave those off the top. I already washed this off. Anyone has any comments as I'm going along? Let me make sure I turn up the sound on this so I can hear. Anyone has anything to say? Plus, there we go. Any questions? Just belt them out. And hopefully, I know it's a little difficult sometimes to see, but and all right, so Brussels sprouts. How's that, right? All right, so let's dump these on in. And you know what? Only a couple more left. Let me throw these in there too. All right. Yeah. Okay.
So,
Yes. Question?
question. Sure. So, hate the Brussels sprout. So, can I use broccoli instead?
Oh, yes, definitely. Of course. Okay. So now I'm going to add in some cashew. And I'm going to add in some, let me get rid of this. Put some onion in. So I'm putting in an equal amount of Brussels sprouts and, excuse me, Brussels sprouts and cashews. And the onion, just going to measure a chunk of onion, whatever you feel comfortable with. I'm putting this much onion in. I probably need more, but I'm going to start with that for now. Actually, I'm putting some more in right now. I know how much I love onion. Okay. Now, let's use some sun-dried tomatoes. These have been soaking for about an hour. Right. Pour this out. And I'm not putting all this in, so I'll just count how many I put in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. That should be about enough. 13 just for good luck. Sun-dried tomatoes. And as I said before, I can't live without garlic. Life without garlic is not a life. Take the skin off here. And I'm going to use, how many bulbs? This is a small piece of garlic. So I may use 2 or 3 bulbs, whatever you feel comfortable with. Garlic breath doesn't bother me, so I'll just go for it. Yeah. Okay. All right, so I'll just press it so that breaks the skin and then I can peel the skin off. And doesn't matter if it's mashed up or not, because it's all going to be blended together. Now, depending on the strength and the speed and velocity of your food processor. That will determine just how much chopped up. And this, the reason I got a new one is because this one does not have a great capacity. So I have this much garlic that I'm going to put in there. Okay, that may seem like that's probably a lot for some of you. Just going to cut the ends off of it, chop it up just a little bit to help out the food processing. Okay, and we have garlic. Oh, I dropped some garlic. I want my garlic, all of it in there. More. And all right. Now the nutritional yeast, I'm going to add that in. And I could add it in after putting it in a mixing bowl, but I'm going to put some in now. So depending on how cheesy you like your food to taste, that will determine how much of this you put in. And this is what it looks like, nice and yellow if you haven't seen it. Sprinkle that on. Just once. Putting in 2 heaping spoons. So that would be maybe 2 tablespoons, maybe a little less. And one last thing, I forgot about the jalapeno peppers. Now, instead of the jalapeno, you can use crushed red pepper, you can use black pepper, you can use whatever you want. But since I have this little bit left, I'm going to throw that in there. And I'll probably add some more pepper later just for taste, because I like my food nice and peppery. I throw the seeds in also. Let it go. All right, how much time are we taking? It was 8 minutes. All right, I'm going really little slow today, huh? Okay, here we have it. And where's my top? Here it is. That's it. Let's see what we got. All right, so with most food processors, goes around and around and sticks to the side of the food processor. I'm just going to scrape this a little bit. Now you notice I didn't put any salt in here. Of course, you can add some salt. I normally don't put salt in my food. I put it in it when I'm cooking. I put it on after. Let's give this another quick spin. And a little bit up here. Get that out of there. And I'm going to give this one more scrape. So the food processor, it blends more of the food at the bottom of it. It gets stuck down there depending on what you're chopping up or processing. So you got to mix it up a little bit sometimes. One more spin. All right, that should do the trick. Yeah. What do we have? This. Let's see if I can get the thing off. There it is. Looks a little bit like egg salad-ish. So as you can see, right? And let's do the taste. That's good. And it doesn't even have salt on it. Yeah, that worked. Okay, now. Next, we'll just put this in a bowl. Now, you can add more Brussels sprouts. You can, I mixed it like 1-for-1 Brussels sprouts and cashews. 1 part Brussels sprouts, 1 part cashews. But depending on your taste buds, you can put more Brussels sprouts and or more cashews. Obviously, you can add more or less sun-dried tomatoes, whatever you feel that you like, or whatever your taste buds tell you to do. Okay. I want every bit of it out here. I don't want to waste any. Now, that tasted good to me as is, without the salt. And I would probably, for my liking, add some red pepper flakes because I like my food spicy. Okay. So I'm gonna put a couple flakes on. There we go. I don't need any salt for this. And now, any votes, lemon or lime? What should I use? Anybody? We'll go lemon. We'll go lemon. Give me a second. Salt and pepper. Got my lemon squeezer, which I just got last week. And squeeze some lemon juice on. Okay. A little more. Now, this may seem like a lot of lemon juice to you. I just used the juice of 1 lemon, and I'm literally squeezing it down on there as tight as I can. Yeah, there we go. And mix this up. And then, so instead of making a chicken salad sandwich, you can make a Brussels salad sandwich. It smells good. That lemon really brings it to life, you know? And we have a bite. Perfect. Now, I said I might add a little paprika. I wanted to save that smoked paprika because a lot of times I think the nutritional yeast is enough just to give it that cheesy flavor. I don't want to overpower it with anything else, but I'm going to try a little bit anyway, just because I love paprika. And this one is not open, but I'm going to have an open one. Yes. Have it open. Sprinkle a little bit on top. Throw it on in there. Yeah. Okay. Now. Yes. Right. Okay. Now, taste. Hmm. Good. It's good. Okay. So you have to give this a try. You have to do this. It is to die for. Okay. So now you have a little dish. You can put this on, like I said, if you have chicken salad, if you've eaten that before, which I'm sure you have, Make this into a sandwich if you want, after we finish the fast, because we're not eating any bread, of course. Put it in a pita pocket, add some other things to it. This has like a falafel type of taste to it also. Falafels are fried when you get one. So you can put it in there, put your hijiki sauce on and all that other stuff that they put in a falafel. Or you can just eat it as is, or you can throw it on a salad. But the thing is, you have another raw food treat that you are going to love. All right. So the fast is over, or the raw food challenge is over. Excuse me. Friday will be day number 10. And coming out of it, what I want you to do is this. I want you to go half and half for me for a week. Half cooked food, half raw food. A couple different ways you can do it. You can eat raw food up until 6 p.m. and have maybe a cooked dinner, or you can flip-flop. Maybe cook something for breakfast, for lunch, and for the rest of the day, just have nothing but raw food. Or you can flip-flop one day to the other, whichever way you want to do it. But it is imperative that you keep a food diary. I've been telling everyone about this food diary for a long time. And you know what? Hold on. Be right back. Okay. I showed you my food diary before, but I want to show it to you again today, just so you understand what I'm talking about. This is going to be your saving grace. Oh, where is it? It is here somewhere. There it is. What I ate today. We want to come to today. Okay, so I got all this stuff in. I'm just going to show you what I put into mine, just to encourage you to have one yourself. Okay. Now, see that? Do you see that? You see that top number 230130? That's today's date. You see that in yellow? It says lights out and then lights on. That's what time I went to sleep and then I got up. So I went to bed last night at 1 a.m. and I got up at 7:30 this morning. As soon as I got up at 7:30, at 0750, I took my blood pressure. Then at 8 o'clock, I had 2 bananas, then I had a salad, then I had, what else did I have? I forgot what I had there. An opal apple, which I love opal apples. Anyway, I'm writing down everything and I'm putting the time. In green, you'll see where I took my blood pressure and everything that I've eaten today. It's all here with the time that I did it. I went running at about 3:45, walk, run, 3.7 miles, whatever it was. Took my blood pressure again, had some more salad, and I had some refried almonds, which is another dish that I make. So what I like to do for variety's sake is keep stuff like this around. So I have this, instead of just eating salad all the time. Salad is great. I eat like 2 salads a day. However, sometimes you want something different. So now I have this. And also I have this. This is good. It's like an almond dish. Here. Some almonds. Oh, you can see it now better. Almonds, sun-dried tomato, paprika, cumin, coriander, onion, garlic, lime juice, and sometimes I'll just have like 3 or 4 spoonfuls of this. So at around 5:40, I had 10 spoonfuls of this. That's all I needed. So anyone who says, and this is real good too, okay? Anyone says you can't have variety on a raw food diet, I would say bah humbug. And also I have this is my almond cashew pie. All right. So I made this yesterday. And let me show you this. Let me see if I have any glass. What I do, I make this, which may last for 3 or 4 days. So it's very thick. This is like almond milk without really making it milk. You have the almonds, you have water, you blend it, and you strain it, and you just have the liquid. But I did not strain this. It's half almonds, half cashews, medjool dates, and ginger. So I have some of this, pour a little bit. You can see how it's a little thick there. All right. I might pour out a little bit. And then what I do is, because it might be a little too thick for me, I put some water in it, thin it out. There. And this, love having this. Okay, this is good. Mm-hmm. So this is sort of how I do it. Forgive the mess. But this is sort of how I get along in this world, being a vegan for more than 30 years, but only being really serious about being quote unquote whole food plant-based, where you're not eating any processed food. I sort of gave that up when I wrote my book, because I started researching for the book, and I'm like, oh, I got to stop eating all this processed food. Processed vegan food is junk food. Anything processed is junk food. That's why I'm doing this raw food challenge like every month for the rest of this year. Every month I'm doing it. So you can at least count on 10 days that you can be with me if you want to. If you don't want to be with me, I understand. But those of you who are out there who are listening, I know you're getting a lot of benefit from this. So you'll probably keep on. And again, between the last time we did it and this time, I haven't eaten anything cooked. So I've been on a raw diet since January 4th up to now. And again, as I said before, I'll be going until February 10th, I believe, when I get down to Nashville. Have to do a little presentation, blah, blah, blah. I can tell everybody all about it. All right. So now you can see what I'm doing. That's it. When you're transitioning out on Saturday, if you do decide to have something cooked, do not get any fast food. Do not do anything like that. I want you to steam some vegetables. Steam some vegetables. Have with it maybe some rice or some quinoa or some farro. I like farro in particular. I don't think I have any here. I have something like that, or maybe just like a lentil soup, something like that. Okay, nothing processed. Something that you can make fresh at home. Don't go out and start buying a whole lot of stuff. Now, if you do go out and get something, go to like a raw food restaurant, which is something that I would like to do this Sunday. Any of you who are interested who live in my area, you're free to come, but maybe on Saturday afternoon or early Sunday, like try to make it a lunch date, we can go to Caravan of Dreams, which I think is the best restaurant to go to. I think they have the most raw food selections. Look up Caravan of Dreams online. Caravan of Dreams in New York City. It's on like 6th and 1st Avenue in New York. And you can go and chat and have fun and talk about being raw or being like on a half raw, half cooked food diet for the rest of the year. I think that'll get you in good shape. This is so good. I'm imagining putting some scotch in it, but I won't do that. I will not do that. I'm resisting. That said, any questions?
Kirk, could you give us that recipe for your drink?
Yes, this drink is 1 part almonds. Hold on 1 second. 1 part unroasted and unsalted almonds. 1 part unroasted and unsalted cashews. Normally, I don't use any like artificial sweeteners, so no honey, no agave, none of that. Medjool dates, as much as you want, depending on how much sweetness or thickness you want it to be. So medjool dates, I chop those up, put it in the blend, and this is all going in a blender, by the way, okay? Then I put some ginger in. You can use ginger powder, but I don't. Well, I have some fresh ginger. I'll break some of it off. I might, for what I just made, this was a gallon, and then I have like maybe another half a gallon. I would probably break off this whole top part of it and use that to put in. So this is to taste, okay? And then those are the main ingredients, and water, of course. But cashews, almonds, dates, and ginger. Now, for the mixture, there's a mixture I have here that I keep on hand. Yeah. Now, what is this? This is 1 part cloves. Hold on 1 second. Show you. 1 part cloves. Okay, so let's take a tablespoon of cloves, dump it in. 1 part cardamom. And 2 parts cinnamon. Okay, so that's what's in here. And I'm sorry, where did I put it? That's what's in here. So I shake it up, and then I'll scoop out a couple of tablespoons, and I'll put it in the blender. And you gotta have a blender. So I'll put it in my blender. This is my good old Vitamix. All right, and I can fill up this Vitamix probably 2 times with water. Hit the blend button, blend it up, and then I can have my water jugs. Obviously, this is a water jug, and I just pour it in a water jug. That's it.
Thanks.
You got it. Anytime. So yeah, this is when I want something sweet. It's not that sweet to me. And it probably wouldn't taste sweet to you at all because I don't use a whole lot of dates. But try 5 or 6, blend it up. But it's better with a high-speed blender because it really chops up everything. My girlfriend, she has a blender, but hers doesn't cost as much money as mine. I spend way too much money on the blender, but it's worth it. But it really chops it up. And it's like, to me, between milk and a milkshake. It's real good. The cinnamon and the cloves and the cardamom just, take it to a new level. And the ginger, that's another reason why you want like a really high-speed blender, because you're putting fresh ginger in there and it has to chop it up. With the ginger, I shave the skin off of it and chop it up and then put it in. Or I have ginger powder. It's somewhere. You can use the powder if you want, but I normally I barely use this, depending on the recipe, of course. All right, so now we got a couple of things here, right? Let's keep us going. There's much more that we could do. We got a couple of things, and after you transition back to cook food, for the raw food, you have a couple of things we can do right here. So the raw part of the day, or the raw day in total, won't be that difficult to deal with. It won't seem like you're not having fun. Like everybody wants to have fun with food. Yeah, you can have all the fun you want, but you got to draw a line. You've got to draw a line. And once you get used to doing stuff like this, you'll do it all the time. All right. Any questions? This is so good. I could drink this all day long. I really could drink it all day. There have been times where I have. One last thing. Be careful of nut consumption. I am a nut addict. Okay? Now, the bag of, what did I have here? I'm addicted to these cashews. I've used it for a lot because I just used it in the ditch. But what I would do is I would have a handful of cashews all the time and just eat it. And I would take 4 or 5 handfuls. I had to stop doing that. I put nuts in my food, but I've stopped eating them by the handful because you can just go way too far. And nuts are pretty fattening. And if you're interested in losing weight, you don't want to do it like that. So I do put it in some dishes. And, but now I just can't do it by the handful. So I have to be extremely disciplined with that because I'm trying to drop like maybe 3 more pounds. And, my whole thing is you saw that in my list of what I eat, I take my blood pressure a lot. I take it like 5 times a day because from the time I started fast, my blood pressure has come down a lot, but I want it even low. I'm experimenting on myself. So normally when I tell you to do something or to try something, I normally have experimented with it myself. I'm not just saying do it. I know what happens to your blood pressure after you exercise. I know what happens to it when you eat certain types of food. Excuse me. So what I'm doing right here, as far as dropping weight and lowering blood pressure, it definitely works. And it works for a whole lot of other problems also. By the way, did anyone see, did anyone take a look at the video that I posted today that was in your email? It was a young lady talking about how she went raw and talking about her experiences. And great video. Check the video out. I don't agree with everything she says, but that's good because we don't want everyone to agree on everything. But she talks about her experience and she jumps right into it. Right into it. Number one, she starts talking about, well, this might be too much TMI, but what the hell? I'm going to the bathroom a lot. She's talking about going back and forth to the toilet. I go about 3 times a day. My stool is very soft. And it might seem that it's running to you, but it's just very soft and there's a lot of it. And she starts talking about all that. Then she starts talking about vaginal dryness. Okay. She's like, my vagina is not dry. Okay, I'm like, okay, great. This is fun. I like you. So I want you to watch that video because she just gives a couple of other things too. I think I reached out to her and sent her like a note or a message on Instagram because I'd love to talk to her and I'd love to have her come and talk to one of my groups one day because she's really that good. Nice young lady. So we'll see. We'll see. So she can give the young woman perspective. I can give the old beat up personal trainer perspective because I got some things I could talk about too. That people may want to hear. All right. So anyway, if there are no more questions or comments or thoughts,